Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 8th November 2023. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. HARDAN, 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 Haribol, TRSV, Nectar, NECTAR, Nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been trying to discuss all the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in this vlog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been trying to do in all my previous videos. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my previous, present, and future videos. So let us continue with the topic of discussion for today's video. In the past few videos, we have been trying to analyze and delve in depth on three particular factors which are responsible for the achievement or otherwise of purpose in life for every human living entity, whether male or female in this particular material world in a lifetime. Today is no exception. We shall continue with our discussion of the analysis of that particular batch of three factors. In this process, we have already discussed about several case histories which give us an idea of how, due to the application of these three factors, several human living entities of yore have achieved something which was material or spiritual in as a purpose in their respective lifetimes. There are quite a few instances where a particular human living entity began in his material world as an ordinary human living entity, but later on he or she went into the spiritual side of life and achieved something memorable for not only himself or herself, but also for the society and the humanity in society in general in the times to come. We have already delved on several material and spiritual case histories to authenticate for the genuineness of the presence of these three factors in the lives of a human living entity. These three factors have been specifically mentioned by an extraordinary icon and legend who was the French emperor during the 19th century in France. This person was so extraordinarily intelligent, brilliant, and successful that people, even in that times when he was just a living legend, decided to write books on him or to emulate him. One such person, when he tasked this emperor the secret of his stupendous success in the military career in France, this particular French emperor, whose actual name was Napoleon Bonaparte, mentioned that you need three very important factors to succeed in this material world. Actually, he was not very much interested in the spiritual side, but it applies equally to the spiritual side too. He said, whether male or female, a person succeeds in his or her main purpose in life in a lifetime because he has three factors present in his or her psyche. These three factors are: first, limitless ambition; second, ceaseless industry; and third, a determination to succeed in one's purpose in life in a particular lifetime. He said a permutation and combination of the presence of these three factors decides on the achievement or otherwise of a particular human living entity, whether male or female, in this society in a lifetime. Now we will try to analyze these three factors in detail. First is limitless ambition. What is ambition? Ambition is the wish, the whims, and the fantasies plus the dreams of a human living entity to achieve something big in his or her lifetime, which will make this person and the people around him or her proud. This actual dream or wish or whims or fantasies or desires is based on the destiny and the karma of that particular living entity. What is destiny or karma? Actually, it is a storage of unworked efforts and karma of a human living entity in his or her superconscious memory, which is used to be worked out in future births or deaths according to its quality, preference, experience, maturity, qualification, and so on. When a person has in himself or her a storage of karma of a particular direction, it so happens that destiny and the powers above join together to put that person in such a path in the material world where he or she may slowly and steadily in this lifetime or in another lifetime hit the bullseye in that particular purpose. As for example, one common human living entity may have in his or her dreams or desires according to the purpose allotted him to achieve a particular field. It may be that of an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a professor, a scientist, a scholar, a monk, a rishi, a maharshi, or anything from any walk of life in this material and spiritual world. This particular person is born with a slice of his or her sanchit karma, which lays the foundation for his or her life in a particular lifetime. I will elucidate on this further. What is sanchit karma? Sanchit karma is a storage of unworked karma during several lifetimes of a living entity in the superconscious memory of the subtle bodies of that particular living entity. When a person gets an assignment in life, whether material or spiritual, he or she begins to work on that particular path. As for example, if a person has to achieve his own purpose as a very good doctor in his own lifetime or cycle, then he or she will start working in that field in some lifetime where he or she got this purpose for the first time. It is not at all necessary that he or she will become a world famous surgeon or doctor or medical practitioner in that particular lifetime itself. It is quite possible that in the initial stages, this person has to go through the grind in the medical profession as a nurse, a compounder, a teacher of medical knowledge, a professor in a medical college, and so on. He or she slowly but steadily progresses in that direction. After this lifetime or in another lifetime, he or she continues in his or her journey in this purpose. And how? This Sanchit Karma has a storage of all the efforts that this person has put in as a male or a female so that he or she could achieve the end purpose of becoming a successful medical practitioner. However, it is not necessary that he or she will succeed in the end in that lifetime itself. But the fact remains that the karma or efforts of that person are there to make everyone realize that he or she worked very hard in that particular direction. It has been proved that no sincere effort by any human living entity whether male or female, has ever gone waste. The moment that person passes on in a lifetime, all his or her unworked karma is stored in the Sanchit karma of the superconscious memory of that particular living entity. In that case, his or her next life will begin where he had ended in the previous life. So, what happens is, in his or her next rebirth, this person needs a foundation which is also a part of seeded part, platform or forum from which he or she may proceed further. For that, what happens is the particular living entity's psyche takes a slice of this already stored Sanchit karma of unworked efforts of various previous lifetimes in the superconscious memory of that particular living entity. This life, this slice becomes the foundation of life for this particular living entity in the next birth. This slice of Sanchit karma with which that particular living entity was born is known as prarabdha karma. In other words, his or her journey towards becoming a medical practitioner will begin from that prarabdha karma because the initial footwork and groundwork he or she had already completed in his or her previous lifetime. Because of this person tries to become more and more focused towards his or her purpose in life, whether knowingly, unknowingly, deliberately, otherwise, advertently, inadvertently, by default or by design, regardless of the fact where this person was born in this particular lifetime in which atmosphere or surrounding. Even the atmosphere and surrounding is designed by the nature for this particular living entity in such a way that he or she is automatically facilitated to achieve a particular purpose. As for example, one who has to become a medical practitioner and who has already put in the groundwork as a nurse, a compounder, etc., will this time be born in such an atmosphere where his peers, his parents, his surroundings will give him or her a particular boost to achieve that particular purpose according to his or her prarabdha karma of unworked karma from previous lifetimes. This happens without fail for every living human entity, whether male or female. We have already discussed several case histories of several human living entities who have gone through this in their respective lifetimes and achieved their bull's eye. The limitless ambition stems from the fact that this person had a particular purpose in life to which he wanted to concentrate on and achieve a particular degree. Because this person has this purpose, he or she puts in ceaseless industry to make this particular dream a reality. Because of his or her past karma and efforts, his or her psyche and cerebral faculties are concentrated on working on that particular dream alone. But however, just putting in efforts or having dreams is not enough. Every human living entity with a particular purpose in life must have his or her purpose become an extension of his or her life and psyche so that this person eats, breathes, and lives that particular purpose. This is known as focus on the bull's eye. The living entity must be able to focus his or her complete attention of the cerebral and physical kind towards the bull's eye to achieve his or her ultimate purpose in life. This may be possible in one lifetime or in another too, but it is assured that if a person puts in limitless ambition, ceaseless industry, and a focus and determination to succeed in reaching that bull's eye, he or she will at least reach a particular very high level in that particular purpose or ambition or dream. And how we will discuss in this particular spiritual case history. There was a government official in a place called Jessore in the state of Bengal in India. This place was either inside or close to a place called 24 Parganas in Bengal. The name of this person was Kali Charan Banerjee. On 19th November or 17th November 1877, one boy was born to this particular Mr. Kali Charan Banerjee. It is the case history of this young boy that we are going to discuss in this particular video. This boy, when he was born, was christened as Jatindra Nath. Thus, because their surname was Banerjee, the full name of this boy became Jatindra Nath Banerjee. This Jatindra Nath Banerjee had a very normal middle class upbringing in that particular surrounding. It was uneventful, sedentary, and this guy was at best an average student. However, because of his own interests, this boy took up bodybuilding during his college days and soon he developed a very robust body, physique, and health which made everyone around proud to watch this particular boy. However, it was the British colonial period where Bengal was in the midst of a very volatile and violent and revolutionary situation at that time. There was one revolutionary leader called Aurobindo Ghosh. Aurobindo Ghosh and his own elder brother were deep into the nationalist movement at that time. Jatindranath Banerjee joined these people because of his own personal national fervor, and they all started revolting against the colonial rule in India by the British. However, after few such efforts or exercises, these two, both Aurobindo Ghosh and this Jatindranath Banerjee, became more and more thoughtful, philosophical, and contemplative in their own natures. Their nationalistic fervor out was such that they outgrew from that situation and they were not anymore interested in this revolutionary type of material life. Aurobindo Ghosh went to become a very big official and professor in the kingdom of the King Gaekwad of Baroda. This Jatindranath Banerjee initially tried to join the British Army, but because of his reputation as a revolutionary leader, he was summarily rejected from becoming a soldier in that Indian British ruled army. So this guy got dejected and he went to Aurobindo Ghosh, who was firmly ensconced in the kingdom of Raja Gaekwad of Baroda. This Aurobindo Ghosh was very impressed with the robust health and physique of this boy called Jatindranath Banerjee. Raja Gaekwad of Baroda needed some very good bodyguards. Aurobindo Ghosh managed to put our own Jatindranath, the physically well-built young man, as a bodyguard in the army of the King of Baroda, Gaekwad. Here this boy remained for some time till Aurobindo Ghosh became more and more spiritual and he became known as Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, who came back to Bengal, boarded a train in a French ruled station called Chandranagar and reached another French ruled station called Pondicherry in South India, never to come back into the mainstream. This particular boy, Jatindranath Banerjee, also came to Bengal where he got married and he had a daughter. But he was becoming more and more disinterested in the life as a common householder, and one day he left this household for the unknown for good. This means that this living entity who was born as Jatindranath Banerjee in this atmosphere in this lifetime probably had his own spiritual purpose allotted to him in some past life. He had worked through that particular assignment to such a level that this time he was born as Jatendra Nath Banerjee. This boy's Sanchit Karma had a combination of material as well as spiritual karma, of which the spiritual karma was far heavier than the material karma. That was precisely the reason why, in the material world, this boy became an average student, a bodybuilder, a bodyguard, a field soldier, and a nationalistic leader till one day he went totally spiritual and left his own household for good. He initially reached one northern part or township called Nainital. From there, he traveled on foot to a place called Almoda, where another particular spiritual leader known as Sohom Swami had established an ashram. This ashram is a spiritual abode where people who are like minded spiritually flock to become members of a particular ashram. Though this boy, Jatindranath Banerjee, did not have much knowledge about Soham Swami or his ashram, nevertheless he joined Soham Swami as his disciple. Here he lived and he learned through Soham Swami and another spiritual leader called Tibbeti Baba. Here he progressed spiritually till in the year 1918 his own spiritual master Soham Swami passed on. Jatindranath Banerjee, who had now been renamed spiritually as Nirlambha Swami, wrote a book called Common Sense, in which he gave more importance to spiritual life than to material life. During his nationalistic movements, he came in touch with another world famous revolutionary leader called Bhagat Singh, who was hanged by the British government in the year 1923. Bhagat Singh visited Nirlambha Swami or Jatindranath Banerjee several times in the ashram, and when, after the death of Soham Swami, this Nirlambha Swami or Jatindranath Banerjee relocated to Bengal, this nationalistic leader Bhagat Singh visited him there too. When this man came and relocated to West Bengal, Jatindranath Banerjee, alias Nirlam Swami, was hailed by the public as their own spiritual guru. This man set up his own ashrama in his own hometown in 24 Pagnas, and he lived his last years in that ashrama as a spiritual guru for the people to come, and his own lifetime has been immortalized as a person who started materialistically but ended up totally spiritual in this lifetime. Thus, Jatindranath Banerjee, alias Nirlambha Swami, is one of the greatest spiritual leaders which the Indian spiritual side has ever produced. We must all take a leaf out of the life of Nirlambha Swami alias Jatindranath Banerjee so that we may channel our own life according to the experiences of this young man called Jatindranath Banerjee alias Nirlambha Swami. This is all I wanted to talk about in this particular video, in this particular case history. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular case history in this video. Please give me your own expert views, opinions, thoughts, and ideas so that I may blend everything together for the sake of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.